Hafa day and welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Crystal Paco, so glad you could join us.
Nick Delgado here at the Office of Civil Defense in Agani Heights as we hear the latest on this typhoon heading in our direction. Landon with the National Weather Service joining us to tell us the latest. Landon, what do the people need to know?
Continue to prepare for the storm. It's still heading towards the Mariana Islands right now. It's a Category 1 typhoon, and it is making its path towards the Marianas. We're looking at a better prognosis than we've seen the last 24 to 36 hours. Right now, the current track does take it over the CNMI near Rota on Monday evening, Monday night. Does that mean we can let our guard down? No. We have to watch this closely because it could still bring some dangerous conditions to Guam itself. We're still looking at the possibility of Category 1 conditions. Worst case scenario looks like right now, Category 2 typhoon conditions. The main change with current track and forecast is that this timeline has come up a little bit more forward. So instead of looking at a Tuesday morning passage, we are looking at conditions to go southward around midday, early afternoon Monday, with tropical storm force conditions moving in Monday afternoon early, and possibly Category 1 typhoon conditions Monday evening, Monday night. So we have to prepare for that. Looks like we're looking at a much better scenario than we were looking at Friday and Saturday morning. That's the good news.
But still, like you said, don't let your guard down.
Yes.
During the briefing we heard, still prepare for Guam and Rota for that possible direct hit, just as we saw many of the people out there doing so and putting up their boards and whatnot. But they also have the shelters that are opening around 7 o'clock Sunday night, so people need to look out for the list of that, of where they need to go, because they do advise that you stay in a strong concrete structure, land in anything else.
Yeah, keep a close watch on forecasts. As the thing gets closer, as it proceeds more into our area, we're going to have a lot more information. The forecasts are going to be more solidified. We're going to have a lot more certainty in our forecast, what to expect intensity and timing wise.
All right, and we'll bring you the updates and the timelines as we continue to get them on all of KUAM News digital platforms and on KUAM.com. Back to you.
Will the 180-plus clergy sexual abuse lawsuits head for settlement as planned? That and more will be discussed in a joint status conference at the District Court of Guam on Tuesday. Here's more. Back in August, one group of plaintiffs threatened to abandon settlement talks, alleging the church was, quote, acting in bad faith, end quote. The Lujan and Wolf firm, who represent majority of the plaintiffs and all the lawsuits filed in the federal court, reported that the Archdiocese of Agana would be banking on insurance coverage to front the cost of claims, and that the church was selling assets in a suspicious manner at, quote, less than asking price, end quote. As we reported, the church's stateside legal counsel, Mike Patterson, assured the court it was all just a misunderstanding. He advised that there are 4 properties being discussed, and the reason for the transactions were, quote, economic in nature, end quote. Both Chief Judge Francis Tedingo Gatewood and Superior Court Judge Michael Burdalio agreed they cannot force parties into mediation. In his recent letter to the faithful, Archbishop Michael Burns addressed the issues ahead, stating, quote, we want meaningful action. Justice must be served. We cannot fully repay what was taken from these brothers and sisters. We can only offer a token of justice through financial remuneration. Yet it is a tangible sign that demonstrates that we know a wrong has been done and there is a debt of justice to be paid. Ideally, it would be the perpetrators themselves who would be brought to justice. But time and distance preclude it at this time, end quote. To read the Archbishop's letter in its entirety, visit our website. Tuesday's hearing starts at 8:30 a.m. It's a case gone cold. Back in July, an elderly Air Force veteran was found dead in his Manilao house. Though police believed foul play could be the cause, no arrests have been made since. Here's more. It's a case that's close to home.
There is a concern of what happened and where is it at, but like I said, I can't say too much in terms of it being investigated. So I have no knowledge of what any new thing that in light of what had happened in the Titanos apartment.
Manila Mayor Alan Angagta is referring to the mysterious death in his village back in July. Neighbors called the victim Ray, an elderly Air Force veteran who was found dead in his unit on the 2nd floor of the Titano apartments. The complex is just down the street from the island's educational hub, the University of Guam, the Guam Community College, and George Washington High School. The mayor wasn't told anything materialized. As for safety,
as long as I'm here, I believe they're okay, and we have the police presence. We have, here in the village, I've even started as reintroducing the neighborhood watch. So I really encourage everyone, if you see something, say something. Please give me a call, give GPD a call, and I put signs on pretty much all the different intersections promoting that. But you know, like everything else, we all need to work together to make things happen.
The medical examiner was advised by police not to release his findings. If you have any information on this case, you are urged to call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. The national president of the Society for Human Resource Management says he's impressed with the 200-member-strong local chapter, which has one of the highest per capita concentrations of HR professionals. Nestor Lecanto reports.
SHRM President and CEO Johnny Taylor is here as the guest speaker for the Guam chapter's annual conference. He says currently there are two key human capital challenges: a declining birth rate, which means fewer people in the workforce, and then there is a skills gap.
But having people who can't do the jobs that employers need because they don't have the requisite skills has created an even bigger challenge for us. They're all saying we've got to get this people issue right, because we can't grow our economies unless we get the people, the talent part right.
The local SHRM chapter says it works closely with institutions such as the Guam Community College to find the right mix of education and training. They also consult regularly with senators on human resource and workforce-related legislation. Meanwhile, Taylor, a native Floridian, says he's familiar with the challenges of a tourism-based economy like Guam's, which often comes down to a lack of workers.
And when you have a shortage in service industries, then you have an immigration challenge, and that really has become the problem in a lot of the world, but it's most pronounced in economies that rely heavily on people like Guam.
Then there's also our high military participation rate, where regular deployments and training of National Guard personnel mean managers need to scramble to fill in the temporary gaps.
There are parts of the country, the mainland U.S., where you have military bases, but they might be 5-7% of the workforce. They're not 50% or more of the workforce, the available workforce. And that creates a unique challenge that Guam actually really has to wrestle with.
Taylor says HR professionals are charged with helping to find that balance between the employer's needs and that of the employee. SHRM is celebrating its 70th anniversary. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Controversy led to the introduction of these bills. Introduced by Senator Talina Nelson, Bill 325 aims to establish an organized 911 emergency telephone system and a funding source. As reported, GovGuam recently came under fire from the Federal Communications Commission for diverting millions from the Emergency 911 Fund. These unlawful transfers resulted in no money to upgrade the island's current 911 system. Also up for public scrutiny, Bill 337 and Bill 338 both require that the Director of Customs and Quarantine, as well as the Department of Corrections, have the work experience to ensure the safety of the people. As reported, Eric Palacios was appointed to head of Customs. Senator Talina Nelson, however, withheld the nomination due to various concerns, including an incident with butterfly knives he reportedly brought to Guam from the Philippines and a sexual harassment allegation against him made by a former Adelup staffer. All three bills will be up for public hearing on Thursday, September 13th at 9 a.m. at the Guam Legislature. Exploring the depths of underwater robotics, teachers from both private and public schools train to teach underwater ROVs for middle and high school STEM programs. Carmen Turlahi has the story.
Testing the limits of underwater exploration, Jim McDonald from Monterey Peninsula College visited Guam for the 4th year in a row to teach middle and high school students underwater robotics.
This year we're doing more of the triggerfish, more advanced, and it's for people who did not get to do it.
So far, all of Guam's high schools and most middle schools participate in the federally funded program. The goal, according to DOE's College Pathway Program Director, Leah Beth Nahalawa, is to spark interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, better known as STEM.
We need a lot of engineers on Guam, we need doctors and all that stuff. So by introducing this to them, hopefully they'll be more interested in those careers.
Imagine a robot that can solve real-world issues. Every year, the level of difficulty increases, challenging students to think outside the box.
Now that you have this new capability, what are the local issues you all want to address with these underwater robots? The kids are excited. Do you want them to go monitor your reefs? You want them to go look at plastic in the ocean? You want to do fish counts? It's whatever your local issues. You all need to decide how to use these now.
If you have a student interested in building an underwater ROV, you can contact your school principal, science or math teacher, or even visit GDOE Curriculum and Instruction to find out more. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Turlaki.
If you love all things spicy, you don't want to miss this. Guam's hottest village festival makes its return next weekend. Manila Mayor Alan Agacta welcomes all ages to their Dunny Festival. There will be a hot lineup of food and live entertainment, as well as a carnival and fireworks.
Bring the family. It's a family-oriented event. We're going to have a lot of we got a good program going on. We got more entertainment, different contests, whether it's called the Pika. And of course, we're going to promote our big doni.
The festival starts on Friday, September 14th and runs through Sunday, September 16th. And it's not too late if you want to participate in the festival as a vendor. Call the mayor's office for more information. Stay tuned, more when Weekend Edition returns.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. And to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, health care that's always there for you.
Half a day, hungry drivers. Are you spending more time on the road? Shell has teamed up with Wendy's so you can buy fuel and eat free. Just fuel up 7 gallons at any Shell station and get a coupon for a Wendy's cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. Or use 2 coupons to redeem a Wendy's cheeseburger meal with fries and a drink. Fuel up at Shell today because this deal won't last long. Quality service, fuel and food from Shell and Wendy's.
Hafa Day and welcome back. Many headlines covered this week caught your eye either on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now time to take a look at what you had to say. Asha?
Hi everyone and welcome to Trend Spotting. Here's what caught your eye on social media this week.
29-year-old Brian Kevin Cruz, who was accused of kidnapping and brutally beating a woman known to him, was captured this Monday. Cruz's image, specifically from surveillance footage, was heavily circulated over last weekend. The woman shown is being wrapped in a headlock before she is shoved into the driver's seat. The video was recorded on the afternoon of Friday, August 31st. She was found beaten black and blue with swelling to her eyes the following day near a church by her home. Cruz is charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault, family violence, and felonious restraint. A return hearing in the kidnapping case is scheduled for September 14th. Here's how our online community reacted. Edward Ford says, "I think he is a punk that he thinks he's tough. Beat up a girl, run from the cops. Now his sister is pleading for sympathy for the family. He brought all of this nonsense to the family. He has no respect for his mom, family, or women in general." Baby Zion turned 2 months old this past week in a hospital room in the Philippines. Now his family asked the community for help in bringing the newborn home. Suffering from a multitude of rare neurological disorders, Zion's mother, Jennifer Lozama, and her husband took indefinite leave to be by Zion's side as he endures treatment off-island. The journey emotionally taxing, now taking a toll financially. With a heavy heart and hope, the family is reaching out to the community of Guam for help, praying that baby Zion will meet his family waiting back home. Our Facebook followers sent their prayers through comments. Teresa Sablon says, "Prayers for baby Zion and for his parents to have strength to see him through." Diana Tysikin says, "May God bless Zion with good health. Please help him and his parents. Amen." If you are interested in donating directly to the family, you can find a link at Jennifer Cruz Lozama's page on Facebook. After the body of a Korean tourist was pulled from the waters off Tangisan on Tuesday, KUAM confirms the male swimmer has died. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola performed the autopsy, but could not release details until authorities first contact the victim's family. As reported, the unidentified man was snorkeling with a friend inside the reef at Tangisan Beach earlier this week when he went missing. Several hours had passed before first responders located his body and rushed him to Naval Hospital. Unfortunately, he did not survive.
Thanks for joining us. Catch us next week for more Trend Spotting.
Thanks, Asha. Crime Stoppers is next with Jason Salas.
Advances in technique and medications used to prevent dental pain have shattered the myth that a dental visit is something to fear. Even the dreaded root canal or wisdom tooth extraction. Swabbing or spraying a topical numbing agent on before the injection and using different techniques and anesthetics can create a relatively comfortable or pain-free injection. Injections are often the most feared procedure. Some patients don't like the sounds or the vibrations of decay removal. If you're still nervous or you gag easy, despite these techniques, very safe oral medicines can be taken before your dental appointment to eliminate all fears, or some clinics use nitrous oxide gas. Pain relievers can easily be prescribed to eliminate mild to severe dental discomfort after any visit. For your Helpful Dental Minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. We shall never know all the good that a simple smile can do.
Today, everybody. Domestic violence cases are some of the most heinous type of crimes in our community where family is always a core part of how we live as islanders. Sergeant Paul Tapal with GPD is here. And Sarge, we're going to talk about what victims of crimes as well as their families can do, because there's a lot of resources that exist right now on the island where people can go for help, they can seek treatment, but also they can hopefully bring closure to their case, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when we talk about domestic violence cases, this is usually what we classified as a closed door crime. It's being, you know, pretty much committed within the confines of a home and everything, and it's really hard for us to infiltrate without a victim or a survivor coming forward and reporting. And that's the hardest thing to do, is if you're a victim of domestic violence, is actually coming forward, empowering yourself to come forward. So really, we're asking the community to take note of your family members who you may suspect to be a victim of a domestic violence relationship.
That's kind of the core point right there, because if somebody feels like they may or may not be a victim, but they just don't know, right? They're like, okay, well, I get in spats with my significant other, you know, we yell at each other occasionally, you know, those kind of things happen. But how do they know, like, where is the line drawn in when it becomes a domestic violence case?
So you can really tell from the onset when it becomes power and control. When the aggressor wants to always have that power and control, always controlling the victim's movements, their location, where they're at, who they're meeting with, what they do.
Being very possessive,
yes,
being very jealous.
Yes, that is the definite telltale signs to look for. And that's the precursor for the onslaught of different things to come, because right after you determine that the power and control, now what that does, it triggers an emotional abuse, because of the fact that the aggressor has that power and control over the victim. And where it continues, where the cycle will continue from you know, the psychological approach, so now it becomes aggressive and everything physical in nature. And that's where it becomes very, very dangerous for not just the victim, but all the family members under the care of the victim and the abuser, because it becomes a cycle that we try to identify and we try to break, but it starts with identifying power and control.
Now, of course, everybody's going to say, I know I need to call 911 and I know GPD can help me, but how much do your brothers and sisters in the police department get involved with like those kind of cases? Or again, there are a lot of different agencies, there are nonprofit organizations that are specialized in this kind of thing. Do you guys kind of like transition people to those, or do you work the whole case?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the Guam Police Department will be your first responders out there. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that our patrol officers, through training and everything, is that we have empathetic briefings on how do you handle domestic violence. But we also take it up a notch, because now we have our domestic assault response team. Now, as line with our domestic response officers, we have advocates who work closely with them. But our domestic assault response members, or detectives within that area, they're also advocates. So they know how to provide that triage of care that's needed for the emotional support and everything, while in line bringing justice for the victim by arresting the perpetrator or the aggressor. And we also work closely with nonprofit organizations and non-government organizations such as VARO to assist us in handling triage and care for the victims.
Okay, well, let's get to our crime of the week real quick. And when we come back, I want to talk about like giving victims the ability to actually step forward. So what do we got this week?
This week is a robbery that happened in Machinao, Dededo.
Okay, here's what you can do to help our friends up north.
On Wednesday, September 5th, shortly before 4:30 p.m., officers from the Dededo Precinct Command responded to Machinao, Dededo in reference to a robbery complaint. Now, the preliminary investigation suggests that the victim was traveling on Chalan Chihub, had slowed to execute a turn onto Chalan Margarita. As the victim was making the turn, he noticed a couple walking along the road, in which the man, only described to be local, heavy-set, standing around 5'6", with blonde hair, and was seen wearing a red shirt with gray shorts, began punching the victim's face. The victim was then pulled out from his vehicle as both the male suspect and the female individual, only described as being possibly local, entered the car and drove away. The vehicle was described to be a white Scion TC bearing Guam license plates, Mike Alpha India 9097, that's MAI 9097. Now, the Guam Crime Stoppers and the Guam Police Department is reaching out to the community relative to this case. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
All right, Sarge, we appreciate that with the information. We always want to take care of everybody up in Dededo. Now, as I said, what words of wisdom would you pass to people that may feel they're like, I know I'm being victimized, or, I know these things are happening, but I'm afraid to speak up, or I don't know, because, at the end of the day, GPD can come here and they can say, you need to stop this, but I'm still going to come home to this household, and now the person's going to have, even more aggression, and, they're going to be really, really upset.
And then that's the whole thing behind power and control, is that now we want to do is what we want to really instill in the victims is that we want to empower them to take that stand. It's a big leap of faith and everything, but we're asking family members from the outside to support in. If you see signs of telltale signs, start a dialogue, start a communication, and ask them, is everything okay? You may get some resentment and everything because nobody really likes to pry into people's lives, but it really starts with you opening that intimate dialogue between you and a family member. So start with establishing a dialogue, start with empowering yourself about what you can do, because really you want to break that cycle, and it starts with the victim empowering themselves into understanding that there's help out there, there's resources, there's family members that can provide that triage of care in dealing with domestic violence.
And you said GPD does have a special team that is, highly equipped to handle this. If people would like to call and just say, I would like to come forward or anything like that, how can they get in touch with you?
Give us a call. Call our dispatchers and we can connect you to the right people. Start by calling 472-8911. Talk to our dispatchers, ask them who you can speak to and stuff. Ask them you want to speak to the domestic assault response team, and they can lead you the way. But it starts with you empowering yourself, wanting to bring changes to that relationship.
All right, Sarge, thanks so much for taking care of everybody on Guam.
Thanks for having us.
All right, please stay tuned, everyone. We're back after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Attention drivers, we have a shipload of vehicles on the way and need to make room. Buy now during Triple J shipload sale. Take advantage of our best pricing on all Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $137 per paycheck and used cars as low as $86 per paycheck during Triple J shipload sale. See PDN and post print ads for details, or visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome, some conditions apply. Triple J Auto Group, customers first.
New Amsterdam is America's first public hospital. Patients don't need insurance, money.
You do know the whole system's rigged, don't you?
Let's get into some trouble. Let's be doctors again. Tell me what you need, what your patients need, and I don't care if it's not covered. Yeah.
I want to get rid of our waiting room.
Done. Any department who places billing above care will be terminated.
They're not going to let you just help people.
So let's help as many as we can before they figure us out.
New Amsterdam, Tuesdays this fall on NBC.
And before we close out the news tonight, here's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It's time for some birthdays, everybody, and happy birthday to Melvin Timenglow. To my little big brother Melvin, thank you for all you do for me. I wish you nothing but the best on your special day. May your wishes and dreams come true. I love you, bro, say Shelly and Richard. Happy birthday number 1 to the very special Conan Jermaine Teikenfong. Wish your papa was here to see how much you've grown and help celebrate the special day with us, they write, but unfortunately God had other plans. We want to wish you nothing but the best today, and always we love and miss you. It is also a happy birthday to Shine eBay. This comes from Grandma, so happy birthday, Shine. And to our very own Steve Claros, who has a birthday today. Steve, we love you, man. Hope you had a good birthday. Also, happy birthday to Adam Pangilinan, who blows the candles out this weekend, and to Isabella Olalia. Love always, Nino Nadine, Nino Odi, and the entire family. And happy birthday to the boss, to KUM's very own Marie Calvo-Monge.
Also, happy birthday to Ken Kitsanita. We love you, Kenny Boo from KUAM. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include your photo, your name, and birthday. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching, and be safe this weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
my alma mater. The buildings have grown, but it's nice to be back.
I'm so excited. Never gotten to take the NBC studio tour. I hope it's informational.
I hope we get to see some celebrities.
You are a celebrity, you weirdo.
Yeah, but other ones.
Hi there. Welcome to the NBC Universal New Employees Studio.